Good Morning Night Vale is brought to you by The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, a new independently produced and crowdfunded 10-episode original audio drama. Set in a deceptively familiar world of electronic surveillance and machine-mediated communication, The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine follows Lydia Ryan and her friends, lovelorn Ethan and wannabe internet sensation Dee, as they struggle to unravel the mystery of her mother's disappearance. Escape the sinister Fontaine family, and survive the feud over her grandfather's supernatural legacy. It weaves bitter family drama and high-stakes intrigue with fantasy and cyberpunk elements to create a surreal mystery about secrets and grudges, old books, big data, and the promise of infinite knowledge. And do not forget the talking birds. It's a full-cast production with original music and a bespoke soundscape presented through a series of found-footage-style surveillance recordings. And it's important to note, this show was made entirely without generative AI. Even the computers are voiced by human actors. Episodes are free, and you can start listening right now with the Season 1 finale due to come out on August 16th. For more information, go to lydiadisappears.com. and find The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine wherever you get your podcasts and start listening from the beginning.
Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Look to the obelisk.
We don't know where it came from, but it's attracting a lot of cats.
Good morning, Night Vale. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Good Morning Night Vale. I'm Hal Lublin, your camp counselor friend.
Hi, I'm Meg. I also attended camp with you.
Hi, I'm Symphony, and I'm the popular girl who you want to be friends with. And this is Welcome. Nope.
Oh, please keep that in. Please don't edit that
out. Okay. And this is Good Morning Night Vale. And what are we doing here, you guys? We are recapping the popular podcast, Welcome to Night Vale. That's the way it works. And currently, we are talking about episode 14. And we do this because it's fun, and we like talking to each other. And we like to do a deep dive and talk a little bit more about the ins and outs of this weird, wacky world.
So this episode is The Man in the Tan Jacket. A stranger comes to town with a briefcase and an unmemorable face, plus controversy with the Daily Journal, another segment of the Children's Fun Fact Science Corner, and new security footage from the bowling alley. So yeah, The Man in the Tan Jacket, one of the first episodes to launch 1,000 cosplays. I feel like we've seen a lot of men, women, and those outside the gender binary in tan jackets at shows. And out in the world, and I think that's really cool. Also, I just want to go back to the beginning. I love the cold open for this show, this particular episode about the obelisk that is attracting cats.
Yes, I know. I love that too. And you know what? That's so on brand for me. I sometimes picture myself as an obelisk, and I do attract a lot of cats.
I attract cats too, but only because I'm uneasy around them. Because I'm way more interested in dogs than I am in cats as animals.
They can sense that.
And then they're like, oh, this person doesn't give a fuck about me, and I don't give a fuck about anybody. I'm gonna go rub on his leg, and then I'm gonna get on his leg, and the whole time he's gonna wonder, are those claws going to sink into my leg? And I'd please, like, how long does this have to be? And you know what? Maybe I will dig those claws in just to let him know I'm here.
I'm also a little uneasy around cats, not because I don't love cats. Like, I love cats. I think they're great and adorable and beautiful, little murder machines. But I am really, really allergic to them. So but they can tell right away. And they, like, as soon as they sense me, they're like, I'll rub on me. They put their butt right in my face. They're like, please, let's try to kill this girl with my dander.
They're like, histamines.
And then I, of course, pet them. And then I, like, have to wash my body thoroughly and then deeply regret it. But they're just so soft.
Aren't you technically allergic to horses as well?
Yeah. Horses more so than cats even. I'm very, very allergic to dust, and horses are like dust traps. And then also the horses have their own special horse dander that doesn't work great for me either. I have allergies to many things. It's one of my adorable features that I sneeze a lot. So this episode, I was having all sorts of feelings about this episode, dealing with our current state of the world. We kind of start out with a good chunk of propaganda at the top.
Yeah.
About the Night Vale Harbor and waterfront recreation area.
And how it wasn't a complete waste of multi-million dollars. And the sign that says, nothing is here, nothing was ever here.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that they failed to correctly use tax dollars. So that's a good piece of propaganda right at the jump.
And wasn't this the whole thing that sparked Cecil's disdain for Steve Carlsberg earlier in one of the earlier episodes, because he voiced his dissent about how there's no waterfront. So why would there be a waterfront harbor, right?
Yeah.
More unreliable narration.
Yeah, there was the propaganda at the top, and then there's the whole dissolving of print journalism that goes on in the Leanne Hart section.
Well, that's due to basic mismanagement of funds.
Yeah, and then there's a call to war. So I've got propaganda, the dissolving of print media, and a call to war. All of this is supposed to be coming from a journalistic standpoint, which makes me want to really review Cecil as a journalist.
Mm-hmm.
What are Cecil's credentials? What was Cecil's education as a journalist like? What is Cecil's morals as a journalist? What are the ethical implications of these things?
I'm going to answer that with none for all of those questions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It feels like it's possible that Cecil Palmer was hired because of his voice. And he just sort of like report, because I mean it's a lot of opinion and not a lot of, it's like not like I went and investigated this and here's what I found out. It's somebody else went and did this. You know, he's active in his own personal story more than at this point than he is in the actual story of things going on. He's part of if it doesn't directly affect him or something, or someone he has an opinion about, then he's a little bit more neutral about it, I think. Or he's taking whatever stance the government is telling him to take.
Yes, he's very I mean, that's also made pretty obvious anytime like the city council has anything to say, or like, you know, decrees are being, the sheriff's secret police have anything to say in other episodes. He's just like goes with it instead of having any sort of voice of dissent or questioning at all, like a true journalist probably would. But let's talk a little bit about, I feel like there's a couple times in this that obviously are very propaganda-ish, but in particular, there's lots of name calling. Like there's one point where he says something about like, you cretin, and then the whole thing, if you would like to learn more about starting a militia, simply learn to be a true American. No more than right now are we experiencing that. Like, what does that even mean when people say that? Like, when we hear it now, you're usually hearing it from one side that is always calling into question the validity of someone's citizenship.
You mean Proud Boys? Want to put a name on that? You want to put a name on it? Just call them Proud Boys? American terrorists? Is that the term you want to use?
Yeah, let's do it. It's just, we're living in such a horror show right now that we are seeing this huge call to nationalism, like this misdirected call to nationalism that just like boggles my mind, and unquestioning of things that should be commonly thought of as wrong, like Nazism.
Yeah.
Just saying, we don't like Nazis here.
Not a fan.
Fight me.
Yeah, no, we don't like Nazis here, and we also advocate for violence against Nazis here. So that too.
Yep.
That's me speaking for me. I don't speak for the whole world of Welcome to Night Vale, but I speak for me. And that's good enough. But yeah, there's lots of things that are going on, especially the attacks on journalism and journalists, as well as attacks on people themselves.
Well, there's a big xenophobic streak, when he starts talking about the fun complex and all the citizens that could be underneath the Alley 5, right? And it's obviously saying that we don't know anything about these people, who they are, what they really want, but they're assuming that, they have this god named Huntokar, which comes back later, which is great. So that this is probably the first time. This is the first time that's been mentioned, and really we're getting in depth on like what they think is happening with the whole ruled by a child king and like all these things that are just like, where did that even come from? Like, who's creating that storyline in their head? You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
to sort of like incite fear about the other. So it's like, it's very much be afraid of the other, be afraid of their culture is different. They have worship a different God, and they have a different structure of leadership, and they're different, and they're plotting against us, and we need to plot against them. They're different and other, so we need to kill them. They threaten our norms.
That undercurrent flows through the entire series. There's the idea of an interloper, somebody coming in who's from the outside, mistrust, that bred mistrust of everybody who is not exactly you. And it could be as much as all of those things of who somebody worships, and as little as you are not from here because you are from somewhere else. Even if you look exactly like me, you are not accepted here. And you are outside because you don't understand what we are and where we are and what it means to be here.
Yeah, which is, I mean, the man in the tan jacket is that in itself, but also speaking about the career fair, which is the representing phony local businesses that take resumes and photos with hidden surveillance cameras that badger you into implicating yourself into nefarious activities, and then they're asking for first-generation Night Vale residents, particularly those from certain places, are strongly encouraged to attend. So, I mean, like, you change a couple words, and that is something that the Attorney General would say of these fine United States of America.
Right.
Yeah. It's just so poignant. And then even, like, the whole calling out of your own neighbor, like, the whole thing about, like, was it Steve Carlsberg? Did Steve Carlsberg talk? That whole thing. It's almost going back to McCarthyism, that whole like, tell on your neighbors, we should always be looking out for anyone saying anything that they shouldn't be saying or doing something they shouldn't be doing, and bringing them to the authorities,
Well, Roy Cohn, who was a mentee of Joseph McCarthy, was Donald Trump considers Roy Cohn to be one of his mentors. So McCarthyism, never leave home without it, right? It's the gift that keeps on giving, shall we say, or the gift that keeps on taking. So yes, let's get to the man himself, the man in the tan jacket. We can stop fretting about the current politics of our land and talk about this man.
Well, I love that throughout the story and even throughout the rest of the show, like, is he so plain that people just don't remember his features? Or is it somehow when he's in your presence, you remember everything about him, but when he goes, like, all of those specific things about him are gone, are lost? Because even when when Cecil tries to describe the man in the tan jacket, he can't even be sure fully, right?
Or is it that idea of racism of like, well, the tan jacket, or like I can't tell him apart from anybody else, or he's unremarkable because he's not me, and he's not like somebody I've seen here, but not in the way of like this person stands out. The thing that stands out is tan jacket, deerskin suitcase.
Which is interesting that the most memorable thing about the man in the tan jacket is the tan jacket, which is a tan jacket is something that is pretty unremarkable.
Right.
It's something that's very very much blends in as a tan jacket and a deerskin suitcase, but that's all they could remember about him are the things that he's wearing and holding, nothing about his corporeal person. There's one point where Cecil describes him as a shared dream, which is interesting because you try to think about remembering a dream and, what dreams actually are. And is an interloper into your mind that we can't describe him. So it's
right.
like if your dreams that you actually experience are your brain that has all the stimuli in it, rearranges things, and you see things, but they're things that already exist in your brain. The man in the tan jacket doesn't already exist in your brain, so there's no way to know what he is.
Well, I think about it like, when you have a dream and there are people in it that you know, but you don't really know them. Do you know what I mean? Or it'll be like, let's say, oh, my mom was in my dream, but it wasn't my mom, but somehow I knew it was my mom. That is what I feel like that sort of thing is. You're like, I know this person, but they don't look like whatever I'm thinking of, or I can picture it in my mind, but I can't describe it. It's like right on the edge, of reality. It had me tripping, yo.
From a history of Night Vale standpoint, this feels like an episode where plot is happening and plot is driving forward. So yeah, in the first dozen or so episodes, we're starting to get plot and we're starting to get wheels in motion. And this is one that is definitely exists to help move the storyline forward regarding the Desert Flower Bowling Alley and the town of people living underneath it.
Right.
So we're getting to this point in the creation of the story of Night Vale where they're building towards a plot point.
And I think one note that I wrote, because towards the end of the episode, when the angel calls and he's describing that whole thing, and then he starts talking about what the angel said about the man in the tan jacket, that he was from the place underneath the earth, underneath our knowledge, a vast world right below our feet. I just wrote in all caps, whoa. Because that, for me, I was like, oh shit, is he like casing the place? Is he really from there? But the angel said it, like, do we believe what the angel said, or is it to be interpreted as something different? It just blew my tiny mind. Which apparently is not difficult to do.
Well, it's a whole crazy world out there.
Yeah.
I was just going to say one thing that I found particularly amusing, not necessarily about the man himself, but was the sponsor, the word from the sponsor about gulping.
Gulping, yeah.
Yes.
Did anybody else have this uncontrollable urge to gulp?
Yes.
Like, especially towards the end, I was just like, gulp now and receive your complimentary prize package. And I was like, that was a choking gulp, but it happened nonetheless.
It kind of made me think, like, I do like gulps. This is effective advertising for once.
I love gulps. A big gulp, a medium gulp.
Yeah.
Oh, do they call it anything less? Like, is it always a big gulp no matter what the size?
I don't know. I don't know how that works with how the gulp structure is. Do they call it like a venti gulp or a Trenta gulp?
Some are bigger than others. I think you can have, there's a variety of gulps available.
So this episode aired January 1st, 2013. So this was a welcome to the new year.
Yeah.
New year, new you,
How was the show doing at this point?
At that point?
Yeah. I mean, Meg, what is your memory of where the show was at this point in time? Like internally, if it was just like, hey, some people are listening and we're going to keep going.
Yeah, this was some people are listening and we're going to keep going sort of like it. Yeah, there really was. This was very, very much still a hobby for Joseph and Jeffrey and Cecil. This is when Joseph was selling green energy on the street. So, yeah, I remember we had Night Vale t-shirts at this point, and then we would sell like 2 or 3 a week. I remember that because Joseph went on a trip to Europe. He went backpacking through Europe for a month in February of that year, and I was in charge of fulfilling the orders while he was gone. So, and I remember I was like doing 1 or 2 a week and going to the mailbox store and sending them out. So World of the Show, yeah, it was still very much a hobby. I'm trying to think of remembering what Cecil was up to. I think he was still waiting tables, I think.
Yeah, at that point. Because I feel like until because it was January 2013, this one?
Yeah. It was like 2014 was when he quit,
because it blew up kind of like summer, right?
Yeah, it was like July of 2013.
Yeah.
Had he just quit, I think, when I met him in October of 2013, or was quitting? I don't think he had quit yet at that point.
Yeah, Joseph quit his job in like August of 2013.
Right.
Because he was like, oh, some people like my show enough. I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not selling green energy anymore. I was still an insurance agent at this point. So we had just had Hurricane Sandy, which was just a blast to be dealing with.
That's when we met.
Yes, we met. Because I was in Chicago.
Because you were stranded.
I was with the Neo-Futurists. I was doing shows in Iowa, and I was with Kate Jones and Cecil Baldwin and Dan McCoy.
If we knew then.
We knew then, right? Yeah, we got stranded in Iowa, and we were doing, and so we decided that we didn't want to be stranded in Iowa, so we drove to Chicago so we could be stranded in Chicago because it was more fun.
Yeah, it's way more fun.
Cecil was like, we got to go hang out with my best friend from college, Symphony Sanders, and we did, and you took us on a tour of Chicago. We had a great time. We went to the Shed Aquarium. We went to Millennium Park. We looked at the Bean.
Yeah.
We don't remember what
No, I'm not. I was going to say we flicked our beans in that.
We flicked our beans at the Bean?
I'm like, can you say that?
That's what you do. It's like kissing the Blarney Stone.
Yeah.
You flick your bean at the bean.
It's 2013. 2013 was a time. It was, yeah. At this point, when this episode aired, there wasn't very many listeners. There was some listeners. It was kind of starting to pick up traction among like weird Twitter people.
Aren't all Twitter people weird people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The internet's great. Can we talk about birds?
Yeah, let's talk about all the different kind of birds and what they mean.
I'm going to be honest with you. I know you guys know this, but those friends out there might not know. I hate birds.
Yeah.
I think they're terrible dinosaurs, and they're gross because they shit in their own water. And when people tell you that it's good luck for a bird to poop on you, I call shenanigans.
Not to be the devil's advocate, but as humans, wouldn't you say we shit in our own water as well? I don't know about you, but I shat into a bowl of clean water this morning.
Yep. Okay. Yep. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I flushed it. I didn't try to drink out of it afterwards. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's
in
the
sense
distinction.
That's what I'm saying.
If humans, all of the water that we have is our water, then why are we shitting into it?
Because we can't go and bury our shits everywhere in a big city.
We're ruining good water.
Well, yeah. Well, that's why you should use, if you are a LEED certified building, you use gray water. It's usually collected rainwater. My mother's in construction.
Water from the sink. Water that you've already made dirty.
Right.
Right. You can shit on that. Shit in your sink.
Right? You would just be like, this dishwasher, I'm going to, dishwasher, the dish liquid, I'm just going to poop into this and then toss it out the window. That's what people used to do.
Yeah.
You had one bucket.
We should be doing. I mean, we're no better than the birds if we're shitting into clean water.
But we're not drinking it, so we're one step up from the birds.
We're wasting it, so that's worse.
But yeah, I don't like birds.
I like birds, except for when I was brutally attacked by a seabird. Symphony, you were there.
I was there, and I was peripherally swatted with a wing. It was all over a delicious scone. I understand why. The scone was bomb.
It was, but that scone did not belong to that seabird. That scone belonged to me.
Yeah, and it was like literally the last couple bites, and that fucker came down with a vengeance and landed on your head.
Yeah, I took some seagull claws to the head, and then it bit my finger when it was stealing the scone from my finger, and Symphony got winged in the face.
Oh, what a nightmare.
We made quite a hubbub, but like no one else on the whole pier was even phased. Everybody else was like, shouldn't have been waving it around.
So what do you think that bird meant? I mean, you've got the eagle that indicates a phone call is coming. Right. Sparrow says you should be aware of the sea. What does a seagull taking your scone? Is that trying to tell you?
Waste not, want not.
I could agree to that.
I can't help but think about a time when I was a kid on the Atlantic City boardwalk, and I watched a woman run past me, flinging pieces of bread behind her and saying, "Why are they chasing me? Why are they chasing me?" And then, like 5 seconds later, like a Keystone Cops, a flock of seagulls following her to eat the bread. And she could not put together that the reason that they were chasing her was not because she looked like Tippi Hedren, but because she had a loaf of bread that she was throwing out. And birds may not be smart, but they're not that dumb. They're like, that's
they know where the
food's
is coming from.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
If you wanted to escape from them, just toss the bread on the ground, then run away, you dum-dum.
Run.
Yeah. Birds don't care about you.
They don't. Because they're dinosaurs. And they will peck you and then poop near you or on you.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Oh, here's my pigeon.
You guys are great at bird sounds. What do you say we make a 1-episode podcast that's just bird sounds?
Sure.
Okay, here's my hawk. I'm going to back away from the microphone a little bit. Ready?
You're really good at bird sounds.
Thank
For someone
you.
who hates birds, well, I guess the devil you know, right? You gotta really understand them.
Yeah.
Know thine enemy.
This is my impression of a wren, North American wren. Hey, everybody, it's me, the wren. How's it going? Just trying to figure stuff out. Hope you don't mind if I fly by, try and get some fish or whatever it is I eat. It's all good.
I think it's bugs. I think they eat bugs.
That's a great impression, Hal. I like how you chose the Mid-Atlantic dialect.
Yeah, now you mention it, bugs do sound good. Maybe I do like bugs. Who am I even? I'm going to go watch 30-something. I have it on DVD. I'm a wren.
I'm a wren.
Oh.
It's so wren-like. Spot on wren impression.
That's so wren.
That's so wren. Boldly back into the show. There's an interesting traffic section. This kind of gutted me, this traffic section.
Yeah.
About this mother and son in a car. Or I think does it say son? It says child.
No, she does say son. No, she says he. So
yeah, he is a child, but he is 15. Yeah, so it's a mother and son. This is before, obviously, well before the Night Vale novel that includes the Man in the Tan Jacket and the story of Diane Creighton and her son Josh. But it's interesting to see now that we know what we know about the Man with the Tan Jacket after having read the novel, and how the Man in the Tan Jacket fits into the story of Diane and Josh. It's interesting to see in the story, the first story of the Man in the Tan Jacket, a story about a mother and a son also sharing it. So it's a interesting little...
Yeah, it could be like that was the early sparks. Like, you know what I mean? You have an idea sometimes and then you develop it later. Like, or something could just be a fleeting thought and then it really becomes or develops into something bigger later on.
Right.
Who knows where inspiration comes from?
Who knows?
What is it, a bird in the sky? Sorry, Symphony. It's me, the wren. It's cousin. Also a wren. I sound like this.
You're sounding a little bit more like an oriole, I think.
That's what people tell me all the time. I think that's kind of racist. Birds don't all just sound like one thing. We all sound like one another, or we sound nothing like one another. I'm a wren.
Forgive me. Forgive me for my... Yeah, I mean, that's racism. Just because you think you're woke doesn't mean you're all the way woke. And so I apologize to all the wrens. And I will try to do better. And thank you for allowing me to learn. And I do apologize.
One thing that I... oh, God. In that little traffic section, and you said it gutted you, the reason I was nodding emphatically, which no one can hear, was I imagine that parents, that this is an interaction or a thought process that they go through. I know people love their kids and all that stuff, but there's just like, there's got to be that feeling occasionally you're like, would my life have been different if? But then she said, and then she even like thinks the thought, she's like, she wouldn't have changed that for anything, you know, but that's just the situation that she ended up in at that time. And now she has this 15-year-old son person.
Yeah, it's interesting that thinking about having kids is something that most people who can reproduce often think about. Sometimes I think about it, but kind of weighing pros and cons. And what it seems to be when I ask people about it and when I read about it is the concept that you'll regret it either way. Whether you have kids or don't, you'll regret it either way.
That's true. Well, because anytime there's any sort of choice in your life at all, you'll always wonder what if, like what could have been, but you're not, that doesn't detract from the fact that you might be happy in the life and the choices that you've made for yourself. But it is something that comes up because you're like, oh, where would I be? Like, how different would I have been? I think about that just in facts of, had I not decided to go to Bradley University, my alma mater, I wouldn't have met Cecil. I wouldn't have probably been doing this show, and I would have different friends. Maybe I would have been a different person, because I had thought about moving to New York and going to school there and stuff like that. And, a very sliding doors sort of, and that is a reference to a movie that people might not have seen.
How many of you like those 1997-98 Gwyneth Paltrow as a British woman film?
Mm-hmm.
I love
There's
that
like
movie.
3.
I have it on DVD.
It's good.
That and 30-something. Or that's the Ren that has the 30-something.
I have both of them. It's me, the Ren again. The second one that sounds like an Oreo to some people. Sorry, Meg, that was a mean dig. I'm a Ren. I'm a little bit drunk.
I've heard that Rens are drinkers. Oh no.
Nope, that one's accurate.
Oh, this will never get old to me.
We just want to have a good time. We're Rens. What do you want? What's the problem? What's your problem?
We're Rens. There's a W in front of our names. Caw.
Caw. Look at me. I'm a Ren. Is that enough for you? Is that enough now, Dad?
All right. So there's that phone call from the angel that comes after the weather. Whispered, a flower in the desert.
Well, and it's so intensely described, like the way that Cecil feels while he's listening to it. Like, it's very descriptive what happens to his face, his like the voice, like how it made your body feel, and he was crying. But I think of that imagery sometimes. You see it in movies and whatever, if like, the divine speaks to someone, it's so awe-inspiring, or the voice of God or whatever, because that's technically right what angels are.
I mean, I just have seen, this weekend I saw Angels in America on Broadway, Millennium Approaches, and Perestroika, the double feature.
Whoa.
So I can speak very extensively about angels talking to people and what it does to them, and that it makes Andrew Garfield feel weird. Yeah, Tony Kushner felt the need to write a whole 8-hour play about what happens when angels talk to people. So I guess this is Jeffrey Craner's small version of that. This is his very truncated Angels in America when the angel calls Cecil.
That's actually the subtitle for this episode. The Man in the Tan Jacket subtitle.
A small angel. A small angel. Part 3.
Angels in a portion of America.
Yeah. Angels in Night Vale. Oh, I'm going to have to write a fan episode that's just Angels in America from Night Vale. Yeah, we're talking about Roy Cohn, talking about Angels in America. We're having a very Angels in America episode. Look up, Prophet, look up. So he gets at I guess he's having this moment with the angel who's calling, and the angel says that the man in the tan jacket is from the underground and a flower in the desert.
Yeah, and that leaves him with ecstasy and dread. What do you think that means? A flower in the desert? Is that like just because it's like such a rare thing?
It's the Desert Flower Bowling Alley.
Oh, wow. I literally didn't get that until just now. Sometimes when I hear things, it doesn't register the same as when I read it. And it didn't register either way, but that's cool.
Sometimes it's a complete whiff. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I also love that the what's up next is
just the E sharp.
2 commercial free hours of E sharp.
I don't know about you, but immediately I was like, in my head, I was like, nope. Like I do not have perfect pitch or would know what that would sound like. I feel like I would have to Google it and then just like, is that a thing where you could Google sounds like notes?
I bet you can.
Yeah.
Google right now. Let's do an experiment live on the podcast.
Okay.
Google E sharp. Someone that's not me.
I'm doing it.
Sharp. I'm doing it.
No, I'm doing it.
No.
All right. I bet yours is going to be faster because my internet is slow AF right now.
Okay, so E sharp major. Let's see if we can hear it at all. Can you hear that?
No. You're wearing headphones. How could we hear it?
I'm the only one who can hear it.
Well, this is podcasting gold. Ladies and gentlemen, and those beyond the binary, we are breaking ground on this podcast.
E sharp sound. Hold on. I'm gonna
Wait,
unplug my headphones.
No, don't.
Right?
Listen to it
No,
and then
what do I do?
replicate it into the mic, please.
Yeah, sing it.
Oh,
Match the
sing
pitch.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
I
Match
can
that
do
pitch.
that probably.
Match that pitch. Match that pitch.
Yeah, okay, let's see. Why is it 4 minutes? I don't understand why it's 4 minutes long. Like, why would the video be 4 minutes long? There's a commercial. Hold on.
Oh, it's weird. This note sounds a lot like an ad for Grammarly.
Oh, no. No, it's playing a song. What is happening? I'm freaking out. This is really strange in my ears. I don't have a keyboard. I need that. Oh, what was that? You?
Yeah. I would love all of our listeners out there who have perfect pitch to just start right now, wherever you are. Stop what you're doing and sing an E sharp.
Sing an E sharp.
This sounds like this sounds like a really great place to segue into the weather.
Great.
The weather.
Up next, we're going to have a conversation with Lauren O'Neill. Welcome to Night Vale's first tour manager and early fan and friend of Night Vale. But first, a conversation about this episode's weather. This episode's weather was Dakar Hip Hop Orchestra, Movement 1, Invocation of the Duke.
Ba-na-bum-ba-na.
Dude, I was grooving immediately to this song, and I want to hear the other movements.
I also grooved this song. This song has been in my iTunes for years, and I never knew how it got there. And it just comes up on shuffle sometimes, and I didn't realize that it got there because of this show.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought you meant it, like it showed up before, like that's how you guys heard about the song. And that, I'm like, was it like the U2 album that they just put on your iPod?
Oh, man. What a serious invasion of my trust in Apple the day that happened. No, I think, I'm not sure how this got on my iPod or my phone. It was back when I had an iPod. I'm not sure how this got on there, but it must have been from this show. But it occasionally comes on, and I'm just like, what is this song from? How does this happen? And then I just, today, re-listening to this episode, put together that it's from this show. And what a fun song. What a cool thing. The Dakar Hip Hop Orchestra. I Googled them, and they've been around since the 80s, I think.
Wow.
Or they have 80 members or something like. It's like they've been around a very long time.
One of them is 80.
One of them is 80. And
It's made up only of octogenarians.
Yeah.
Oh, what a cool idea for a band. No, I think they've been around since the 80s, and they have 60 members or something to that effect. It's a big group of people who've been around for a while. That's my very accurate description.
While it is a hip-hop orchestra, this song to me had very strong Latin undertones. That's what I felt. I did, and honestly, there's a few, okay, this is what happens to me when I hear music that I haven't heard before or haven't heard in a long time. I will, if it strikes me immediately, I'll put it in a playlist to do something else with it later. And for me, this is a performance song to me. Like I was immediately in my head thinking about movement and what story I would tell with this music.
Interesting. Yeah. I feel like you could, this would be something to set a story to. I think it's a really cool idea. I hope you do make something with it. I'd love to see that.
It will probably be a circus thing.
I want to see it. It's all I've ever wanted is to see you do circus to the Invocation of the Duke.
Well, maybe I can, by the time this episode airs, I can at least do a improv-y thing and videotape it, and then I'll post it or something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Don't hold me to that, listeners, because I am lazy.
Listeners, please start tweeting at Symphony if the day that this airs, you do not have a full video of Symphony.
Yeah. Please hold her to this.
Hanging a lira from the moon. Showing us new things about what art can be and what the body can do.
I liked the weather. I liked it. It was good. Didn't have the same impact that last week's did for me.
I was going to say, I don't believe you.
No, they're swinging. Like, it's, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, that's a good piece of music. I don't really have much more to say about it than that. It has no, like, I honestly, and I listened to this, my re-listen was like a couple hours before we started recording. I didn't remember what it was. I had to look at it, print it out. It just didn't stick with me, which is not a statement of its quality or anything, but just like I wouldn't tie this episode to that piece of music unless I just had a catalog like memory of everything that had happened on the podcast.
Truth. Speaking of the placement of this episode, they definitely do the structure-wise. The weather is kind of 3/4 of the way through the episode, and we get lots of action happens during the weather. That's when the Angel phone call is supposedly had happened, is during the break. Cecil gets the call from the Angel. So it is that thing where we have the off-screen
action
thing that happens. Yeah.
That really rounds out our episode. It's just like the last little nugget, as opposed to the last episode, the story about you, where it was like kind of in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just think about that song playing while the Angel is talking to Cecil, and Act 3 of Angels in America is happening, or Part 3 of Angels in America is happening, Angels in Night Vale. So, Symphony, please use that as an influence on your circus piece that you build to the song that world premieres the day that this episode is released.
Well, no, many promises.
So many promises.
Who knows? We'll see. Time shall tell.
Stay right there. Good Morning Night Vale will return after a brief break.
Welcome, Lauren O'Neill, to the podcast. Longtime friend and helper of Welcome to Night Vale. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm excited to be inside of a podcast.
Lauren, we're so excited to have you here.
Inside us.
Lauren, inside of us, deep inside of our podcast. Lauren was very integral to the initial success of Night Vale and the continued success of Night Vale. You were you had held a number of positions in this organization that when we were really trying to find our feet and figure out who we were and what we were doing, you were there to provide organization and skills and kindness and friendship. So number one, thank you. And number two, can you talk a little bit about how you found Welcome to Night Vale?
Absolutely. I found Welcome to Night Vale on a askmetafilter.com thread. Metafilter is a website that I have been a long-time lurker of. And, I think Night Vale had been out for about a year when I stumbled across this feed asking for podcast recommendations. And I was like, well, that seems kind of weird and wonderful, and I'll check that out. And pretty immediately became obsessed, which I think is kind of how I ended up working with you guys, was because I joined Twitter specifically to get weird Night Vale tweets. And then I saw that Joseph tweeted looking for a venue in San Francisco for one of the first shows. And I thought, well, I work at a bookstore. I have a venue. And then it just kind of all went from there.
And how did that show go?
It was a great show.
It was a great show.
It was a really wild show.
I've never seen that many people packed into a bookstore ever.
Yeah, and we did 2 shows that night, as I recall.
We did. Yeah, we I want to say we sold out the first show in something like 10 seconds. And And so we went back and did a later show that took, at least 30 seconds to sell out.
Doing that show was a blast. It was really great for us to come there and do that. I remember it was like one of our first live shows that we had ever done, and definitely one of the first ones that we'd done with anyone outside people we had already known for a while. And so coming to the Booksmith and being welcomed by you and the rest of the staff there was so cool. We met you that night. We also met Sarah Griffin that night, who would come to do other work for Night Vale and become just another friend of the show. So it was like two wonderful people in one night. And then Lauren, you got in the family that night.
Yeah.
And then you started doing, I'm trying to remember this correctly. I know that you came on as a tour manager, but you also came on as like a business manager that helped us with merchandising and things like that. Were those, I don't remember how that happened. I'm sure you do. Maybe.
Yeah. So I started out as tour manager, and we did the US tour. And then we did a Canadian tour where I didn't actually go on the tour, but managed everything remotely. And while I was working on the remote management details and getting T-shirts printed, I just got really interested in what kind of merchandise we could make that could really connect with fans, and that basically so that I could have even more exciting conversations with fans at live shows where they were like, oh my God, I literally need one of everything on this table. And so I think I just asked if that was something I could work on, and worked on a couple projects that I'm still really proud of and excited about, like the If You See Something, Say Nothing and Drink to Forget flask.
Yes.
And
one of my favorite items.
Thank you. I love that one. And then there was I believe there was a lab coat with some sort of science quote on it. Just all kinds of fun stuff. But it was a blast working with Topatico and sending emails like, what if we put this phrase on this random object? Could you just make that? And getting emails back that are like, how big does it need to be?
They're so great. We still work with them, and they're incredible. And we still, like, literally today, Joseph emailed. It was like, could we get a T-shirt that says "Boomers killed aspic," which is the response to the millennials killing mayonnaise. That so, like, they're just so down to do whatever weird stuff that we can think of.
I saw that tweet and I was like, oh, that is going to be a T-shirt. Like, we're watching merchandise being made right now on Twitter.
Yes, that's where the best merchandise get made. You also helped us discover other artists that continue to do work for us.
Yeah. So one of the really fun things about working as, I believe we were calling it merchandise manager at that time, was that I spent a lot of time on the internet looking at Night Vale fan art and other art, and just trying to find great people to work with who had that sort of Night Vale aesthetic. There were a couple of artists we were working with regularly that I think are still working with you guys.
Yeah, you had a lot to do with the visual representation of Night Vale and merchandise. A lot of what the brand looks like today was shaped by you, and I think that's so cool. It's like you're such a pillar in our history as far as merchandising. And this is like, I don't know if this is an interesting conversation to me because I do a lot of the tour merchandising now, but it's how I mean, it's the t-shirts and posters and tote bags and flasks was the way that this podcast is monetized. Is the way that was the way we were able to keep a roof over our heads and quit our day jobs, is flask by flask, bumper sticker by bumper sticker. So thank you, Lauren.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you all for giving me the chance to work with you. I feel like I joined Night Vale because it was something I was excited about, and worked with you guys for a couple years on top of a 40-hour-a-week job. And I just find that having worked with Welcome to Night Vale has led me in so many other interesting directions professionally. So thank you.
It's just a love fest. I love when it turns into a love fest.
Lauren, I'm curious, when you first discovered Welcome to Night Vale and you started listening, you became obsessed. What was it that drew you in? And then second part of the question is, coming to work for the show, it seems like it was more like a way to sort of deepen your connection with it rather than being let behind the curtain and seeing how the sausage is made. Is that fair to say?
I'm going to answer your second part of the question first.
Sure, of course. Good move.
I think you're right. I think it would be accurate to say that I was looking to have a deeper connection to Night Vale, but not necessarily the world of Night Vale, but the creation of Night Vale. So I quickly found myself obsessed with the world of Night Vale and the lore and the stories that I was hearing, because they were strange, they were unusual. I hadn't heard anything like that. They have a lot in common with magical realism in literature that I enjoy. I tend to really enjoy stories that are, here's the real world, but oh no, something slightly strange that is maybe but not quite explainable is happening. What do you do? And I think for me, the impetus to getting even more involved was like, I want to get to know the people who are writing these stories, and then from there, after meeting Meg and Symphony and you, Hal, and all the other people who are now acting in these live productions, it was like, it just felt so powerful and exciting to get to know the people who are building the world of Night Vale. Because I think it's really clear, if you spent any time with any of you who are making the show, that a lot of what's coming through in the show at this point, I think, is influenced by the people who are acting those characters. And so you can see those like wonderful little moments where there's something that Symphony has done on stage that's now a part of Tamika Flynn's character.
Totally. I think a few other guests have said that same thing, and it's just so true. But I think, don't people get that creative influence from parts of their life, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Well,
No, I don't agree. That's a controversial thing to say. So never have I ever put anything from my life into art. Who would want to see that?
Well, when you work with writers over a period of years, then it becomes it's not symbiotic, but it is like, with Thrilling Adventure Hour, Acker and Blacker worked with the core group of 12 or so of us for so long that, they would write characters for us initially just to sort of see how we do. And then, over time, you got to see how that relationship sort of, in the actors would help inform the writing, which helped inform the actors. And that, I think, in a good, healthy artistic relationship, that's what happens. And it's as much the actor's portrayal of the character as much as like who they are as a person, if the character's someone who's close to them.
Sorry, I was burping.
You're on a security camera. Wait, please don't edit this out. We're on video talking to each other in these interviews, and Symphony is on the widest angle camera. Like, she's in full,
I can't escape.
Like full letterbox, and you like tried to move to the side of the mic, and all you did was like just take up 1/3 of the screen that had been taken up by a couch. That is my favorite thing that's ever. I wish I could go back in time. Is there any way Google Hangout records these so that we can watch them later?
I hope not.
It was beautiful.
Oh my God, I hope not.
That was wonderful.
Jesus, sorry.
So this episode is the man in the tan jacket, and I'm interested to get El Money. We also Lauren. We call Lauren El Money because Lauren is El Money, but because of those initial days when she was filling our lives with T-shirts.
And dollars.
And dollars. So that is the nickname for Lauren that you now all know, is that we call Lauren El Money. So El Money, did you go back and listen to The Man in the Tan Jacket? Did you listen, and did you have any reactions to hearing it?
I did go back and listen, and I realized I think it's probably been at least 4 years since I heard that episode, and we've seen a lot more of The Man in the Tan Jacket since then. And so I think my my main reaction was really just how strange and mysterious he was in that first episode, and I feel like he remains that way. And also, like, what's with the briefcase and all the flies?
What is with the briefcase and all the flies? Also, this is my theory about this episode. This is my totally crazy fan theory, is that this is actually the third chapter of Angels in America, part 3. So what's your take on me saying that?
Can you confirm?
Hot take.
My take is I wish that I was more up on Angels in America.
Let me break it down for you. So there's these angels. There's one of them in particular, and it comes to America.
And it's named Erica.
And AIDS is bad.
Erica the Angel.
And that's the plot of Angels in America.
Okay.
Also Reagan and Republicanism.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying the man in the tan jacket is a Republican?
Libertarian at least.
There's some very 1980, 85 vibes about a man in a tan jacket, you know? Which is of the time of Angels in America. It feels on sense from a fashion standpoint.
You know, I just realized I don't know if this has been described, but I always imagined it actually being a trench coat.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
But I just had a flash of it being one of those like terrible, like late 80s, early 90s, like tan windbreakers.
Right.
Ugh.
Oh, the London fog jacket?
Yeah.
Or was that Players Club? What is that one? The one that zips up and has the
members
only.
only.
Yeah.
Players Club?
The Players Club.
What is that?
I picture a leather blazer. It's so funny.
What?
What's your
I picture a
headcanon?
tan
What's your
leather blazer.
headcanon?
Yeah.
Huh.
A tan leather blazer. No, I'm all trench coat. And I don't know if that was affected by the cosplaying of the man in the tan jacket that is often done with a trench coat.
Maybe.
I feel like now that it's occurred to me that it could be like a really geeky windbreaker, that's actually creepier.
Because then he would have a mustache.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't remember if he had a mustache. It would have to just...
You just have
Yikes.
the feeling that he had a mustache.
He might have had a mustache.
Who really knows?
I think mustaches are fake. They were created by the government to fool us into compliance. I'm just going to put it out there now.
All mustaches?
All mustaches.
So, so a lot of what we like to ask guests on this show is that this episode aired in early 2013.
No.
I want to say. No, early 2012. Let me take a
No.
look.
Yes.
No. What is time?
Nothing.
Even.
Flat
Time
circle.
is
I knew that one.
that we're all spinning off of, right?
Yeah.
Oh, January 1, 2013.
Yeah, January 1. Happy New Year, baby.
So, what was your life like in January 1 of 2013 compared to what it's like now?
Wow. Well, it was quite different. I lived in a different city and I had a different job. Oh, I was still in my 20s. So
Okay.
I had like a different metabolism and a different daily energy level. Really, it's hard to even imagine 2013 because how do you go back that far?
Yeah.
I mean, that's 5 years. That's insane.
That's what this podcast endeavors to do, to remind you of a time when you were younger and your body was easier to get around in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, what is Ask Metafilter? We've let a lot of time go by, and I've not asked this. And that was the first thing that went in my head. And every once in a while, it pops up like a dull ache in the back of my skull. What is Ask Metafilter? Is there a whole world? Is it dark web? Dark web. Dark web?
It's the dark web?
Metafilter is a community web blog that's been around for over a decade. I'm not sure quite how long. And it was created with the idea that there's like a flat $5 fee to join. So you can join and it's not too expensive, but you can also get a lot out of it as a lurker. And they basically, community members post usually like different articles that they want people to discuss or that they just want to share. And Ask Metafilter is a sort of sub website where each member is allowed to ask a question of the community every 2 weeks. And I stumbled across the website when I was in art school, and I had really strange questions like, how do I adhere razor blades to neoprene? And that brought me to Ask Metafilter, which led me to a site called This to That, where you can input 2 items that you would like to adhere to each other, and it will tell you the best method.
What? Is that still
I'm
around?
going to thisTothat.com right now.
And I feel like Ask Metafilter has brought me so many wonderful things, and it's led me down so many amazing internet research holes. And yeah, I think it's still one of my favorite places to be on the internet.
Did you know that This to That recommends that you should use barge to attach wood to leather?
Huh.
I don't know what barge is.
I don't either.
Sounds like barf.
Yeah.
Barge is a contact adhesive that the toxicity is you shouldn't inhale it, eat it, or put it on your skin.
Or put it on objects, or touch it, or be near it, or read its name aloud.
Oh, but does
This
leather
to That is my new favorite thing.
That's awesome.
does leather count as skin?
Technically.
Oh, yeah.
What a great question.
If it's dried out, yeah.
Yeah. That's some dried out skin.
If it was tanned the way leather's supposed to be.
Or like a jacket, the man in the tanned jacket. See? It all comes around to leather.
Full
Get
circle.
it right back in there.
Yeah.
You got
Keep
it
working
now.
in that leather.
If you, Lauren, were to cosplay as the man in the tan jacket, do you think you would go trench coat? What would be your interpretation?
As of approximately 5 minutes ago, I would wear khakis
Okay.
and brown leather loafers, but with more of like a boat shoe vibe versus
Okay.
like an Italian leather
feel you.
loafer vibe.
Sure.
The khakis would be sort of like above the ankle, like awkwardly short,
Okay.
with some tan socks showing.
Okay.
Basically, a full tan situation
Yeah.
going on.
Like
Sure.
the
Talking about
Canadian
Tan it up.
tuxedo of tan clothes.
Yeah, like you could be invisible in the desert because all of your clothes are tan.
I love it. And have you decided on which jacket you would want?
Oh yeah, we're definitely going with the awkward, like kind of like thick elastic band around the waist.
Yeah.
Slightly too big, but you definitely can't fit in the next size down windbreaker. And like a floppy, slouchy tan hat.
Okay. Sunglasses or no?
Oh, absolutely sunglasses.
Okay. And how many flies?
All of them.
All the flies in your
That
beard.
is correct.
All of them. Just like a never ending stream of flies.
You know what? While we're on this vein of conversation, you've seen a ton of Night Vale cosplay in your time, El
Yes.
Money. What is the most memorable costume that you saw? What was your, like, when I say that, what's your gut reaction?
I think the first time I saw someone cosplaying as a glow cloud,
I knew it. Yes.
that really blew me away.
Umbrella, or was it a big poofy dress?
It was, I like hesitate to call it a dress. It was like balloon and cotton monster that had like absorbed the human inside of it.
Oh, so there was balloons. Multiple balloons?
Yeah. Look, I mean,
It was all around.
I built more than one glow cloud for that first live show in the bookstore where I was working, and I really found that the best option is to take balloons and cover them with spray adhesive, and then cover them with polyfill or like weird Halloween spider web stuff.
Yep.
But you need the balloons for the structure.
Did you find that on This to That?
No,
You already had that knowledge.
look, I have a degree in sculpture, so I know a lot about balloons and spray adhesive.
Pre-existing adhesive knowledge.
Oh, yes. When you spend the dollars on the BFA, you can do anything with Halloween cobwebs.
I'm so grateful you didn't use barge, because otherwise you might not be with us right now. It's very dangerous.
No.
Highly dangerous.
Well, I don't know. It just has some toxicity and you need to use it responsibly is what this to that is telling me.
Wear some gloves.
Oh, so it's like Bartles and James?
Yes, it's like Bartles and James. It's kind of like a Zima.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Bartles and James. That's funny. That's funny.
Yes. I immediately went back to college and the frats. You're like, that's the Zima frat. They drink Zima.
All right. So, L Money, I feel like we could have a whole podcast that's just us telling stories, war stories of the road. But what I want to talk about is this other thing that we share in common. So when we first did that show at the Booksmith in 2013, it was Cecil and I happened to be in San Francisco because we were helping to get the San Francisco Neo-Futurists started, which is why we were out there. And we were like, hey, let's do a live show. We're out here. And that's when we met and all this stuff started happening. And then fast forward to several years later, now you are with the San Francisco Neo-Futurists, totally separate from this connection.
That is correct. So I have been working with the San Francisco Neo-Futurists as a technician. So I've been with them for, I want to say 2.5 years now. And for the past year, I have been their technical director, which basically means that in addition to making the beeps and boops, I get to be in charge of all the people who make the beeps and boops during the show.
And that's how you use your BFA.
Exactly.
The this to that is the beep attaching to the boop.
Right.
You need the beep and you need the boop.
You got to have them both.
Yeah, I feel like we talk about the Neo-Futurists a lot on this show because it's kind of how we all met. But in this situation, it's not how we met, but then you ended up there still. It's like this.
It's how I met the Neo-Futurists.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like goes backwards.
We went to a live show in Chicago while on tour as Welcome to Night Vale. And that was my first experience seeing the Neo-Futurists. And even though Neo-Futurism is, I think, on the surface, very, very different from Welcome to Night Vale, there's this beautiful, weird, artistic core where I think they cross over. And so I fell in love with the Neo-Futurists the way that I fell in love with Welcome to Night Vale. And I was just really excited when they decided to start up a San Francisco ensemble. And the fact that I get to work with them now is, I think, sometimes just completely astonishing to me. I think the most astonishing thing and the thing that makes me feel really lucky is that in some ways I feel like all of this with Welcome to Night Vale and the Neo-Futurists was just like a completely beautiful accident. I mean, this whole time I was working a 40-hour-a-week job as a bookseller. This was all just extra fun plus art stuff.
But you have to fill you have to check all of those boxes sometimes. Like sometimes it's more than just having a job that fulfills the financial needs of your life, right? And you also enjoy it for one reason or another. But then you also have this creative side to yourself that you want to express, and however you can express that through helping art get made, which is what you definitely did. And I think that's pretty dope.
Well, I think you're pretty dope.
Burn.
L Money, Lauren, L Moneyist, thank you so much for being a guest on Good Morning Night Vale, and thank you so much for all of the lovely groundwork that you laid. We are standing upon your shoulders as we talk to you right now, so which is weird. It's an uncomfortable position, so we should stop. We should get off your shoulders and get on with it. But thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Next week, we're going to episode 15, Street Cleaning Day, where we will hear from Night Vale listeners about their theories, questions, and comments. That's you. That's you getting involved. You know where to call. You know where to write us. We look forward to hearing from you. But until next time, it is upon me to say, good morning, Night Vale. Good morning.
Good Morning Night Vale is a Night Vale Presents production. It is hosted by Symphony Sanders, Hal Lublin, and Meg Bashwiner. It is edited by Grant Stewart. It is mixed by Vincent Cacchione. It is produced by Meg Bashwiner. Theme music by Disparition. Special thanks to our guest this week, Lauren O'Neill. Leave us a voicemail at 929-277-2050 or email us at info@goodmorningnightvale.com to share your theories and ask questions, or to guess how many jelly beans are in this jar. For more information on this show, go to goodmorningnightvale.com and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at Night Vale Chat. Special thanks to Christy Gressman, Jeffrey Craner, Joseph Fink, and Adam Cecil. Today's adverb is grammatically. The sentence buffalo, 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 buffalo is grammatically correct. However, it contains no adverbs.